Everyone, so this is for week 7 as you're transitioning back to in-person learning. So I just wanted to help you out with solving the quiz. So if you have any questions, this quiz is mainly based on memorizing the formulas and conversion factors. So please try to do that. I have a PDF as well if you like to get access to that. I made it for my own students that I'm teaching right now. So if you like to get access to that, please tell me and I'll forward it to you. You can contact me. I'll have my number below. Okay. So, and please try to spread this video as much as possible so it helps out as many people as much. So if the volume of rectangle box is 480 m cubed, then x is. Remember these type of, for example, these type of units help you out a lot. Let's go to question number 1. And let's continue from that. Let's go one by one. So here, what is our formula for the area of parallelogram? Area of parallelogram is always base times height, okay, equals to area. Now, it's very important for everyone to understand what the base is and what the height is without just blindly writing the numbers and just multiplying them together. So this is the base and this is the height, okay? So what is the base? 7. What is the height? It's 5. So 7 times 5, just write it together and you get centimeters square. You get it here, 35. Let's go to the next one. Now here, again, you will solve this step by step. The two congruent circles of radius 5 centimeters are inscribed into a rectangle XYZW as shown. Remember, students, reading the questions is very important. So you can identify if there are any changes from this question to the question in the quiz. So here they have given us the radius. The radius is always from the center to the end of the circle. So you start it, you extend it like this, you get 5. You again extend it to the other side. Why am I extending it? To get the whole length of the width here. So it's 5 here. Again, I took from the center to the other side, became 5 again here. The same thing I'll do on the opposite end. What do I mean by that? So here I got the width as 10, okay, because I extended it. You saw that with the yellow. Now I'm going to do it with the blue. You take from one end and you take it to the other side. That is 5. And I'm doing that again to the other side. Now, why have I changed the position of this? Because I'm trying to find the length now. First, I was finding the width, and I'm trying to find the length. Again, I'm going to do the same. From the end of the circle to the radius, to the center, 5. Again, from the center to the end, 5. What is that going to be? 5 plus 5, 10, plus 5, 15, plus 5, 20. So what is our length times width? First of all, let's focus on the formula. So what is the formula here? Length times width. So length times width. Now that is our formula for the area of a rectangle. What is the length? 20. What is the width? 10. So that is 200. Now here, if the volume of a rectangle box is 480. Now remember, what is the formula for the volume of a rectangular box? Length times width times height is equals to 480. Okay, it's equals to 480. Now what happens is that you have the length here, which is 12. You have the width, which is unknown, so you put a box here, and you have the height, which is 8. Whenever, for example, what will you do here? Multiply 12 times 8, you get 96. 96 times a box. Now, what is this box? Times 4 equals to 480. Now, what happens here? What number multiplied by 96 give me 480? If I do this, like just, start 96, either you can do it this way. 96 times 1 equals to 96. 96 times 2, you can do it like that. Okay? And there's another way. If you want to do it like this, is another trick. If the number ends in 0 and 5, always directly multiply 96 either by 10, because whenever you multiply it by 10, you get it, the number ends in 0, right? Or because look now, when I multiplied it, it gave me 96 times 10. That's a very big number. It's 960. So what will I do? What is the other number? If you said 5, that's right. The other number that you multiply by 96 that can either end in 0 or 5 is 5. So 96 times 5 gives me 480. There you go, you got the answer. Or what you can do, if this is too difficult for you, it's too long, directly just divide. 480 divided by 96. Okay, just divide like this and you get 5 again. 5 times 96 is 480. So whatever is easy for you. So our missing number here is going to be 5. Let's go to the next one. Okay. 0.7 meters into millimeters. Remember grade 5, whenever the main thing that you need to understand here is, one second, let me just write it down for you. here is that whenever you have the conversion factor, right, what do we try to do? First, we need to understand, are we going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, or from a larger unit to a smaller unit? Why am I saying that? Because whenever you go from for example, from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you're going to multiply. Remember, but when you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so for example, here we're going meters to millimeters. So meters to millimeters. Okay, first of all, grade 5, you need to know what is the conversion factor. Okay, what is the conversion factor? Okay, so what is that? 1 meters, if you already know that, 1 meters is equals to how many millimeters? 1000. So you'll write here 1 and 1000. Okay, remember, when you're dealing with the bigger unit, this is the bigger unit. You need to know this. You need to memorize this. Meters, the bigger unit, then the millimeters. You'll write 1 here, and the other number will be large. It will be 1000, 10, 100, like that. And what will you do when you're going from from a larger unit? You're going from a larger unit to for example, you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. You'll multiply. Okay, what will you do? You'll multiply. So 0.7 times 1000 gives me 700. Sorry, 0.7. 0.7, let me just show it to you. 0.7 times 1000 gives me 1, 2, 3. So 0, 0, 700. There you go. $700 millimeters. Let's go to the next one. Keep in mind, grade 5, whenever you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you will divide. When you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you'll multiply. Okay? Volume of a box of length 6 centimeters, width 2 centimeters, and height 4 centimeters. Now, what is this? Length times width times height. Okay, again, length times width times height. What is your length? 6. What is your height? 2. Now, volume of a box. Remember, volume of a box. I hope I can show you a picture here of volume of a box, if that would be quick to understand. Volume of a box. Sorry, I don't have the picture right now ready. So just, okay, I'll just show you a picture like this, yeah. So width times length times height. And what is the formula? Length times width times height. This is the width, the length, and what's standing is the height. I just wanted to show you a picture so you can visualize it as well. So it becomes a bit easier to solve it in the exam. So always it's best that I make my students to draw it out and then write the formula underneath it. So it becomes easier. 6 times 2 times 4. So what is this? What is 6 times 2? 12. 12 times 4 is 48. So there you go. You write the answer. I hope your multiplication is very strong now to be able to do these. Now, volume of cube. What is the volume of cube? The formula for volume is cubed is what? S cubed. One way of also identifying this is the cube at the top. Okay, you just write it in here. S cubed. Now what happens? You have 3 times 3 times 3 because you know one of the sides. You just need to know one of the sides. So what is 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, let's go to the next one. Area of a square with side length 5 centimeters. Another hint here, the area is equals to S squared. So side squared, how do I know that? What helps me out here? This squared at the top. So what is the area? It's A is equals to 5 squared. So 5 squared. 5 times 5 is what? 25. There you go. I'm sorry I'm rushing. I just want to cover as much as I can in the time I have. Here. Now what is the formula for the triangle? The triangle formula is half, for the area, sorry, keep in mind the area, okay? Half times base times height. Half times base times height. So half is this. What is the base? It's 6. And what is the height? It's 8. So what will we do? 6 times half is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. So there you go, you get the answer, 24. Let's go to the next one. Then we have this, the area of a rectangle with length 7 centimeters and width 2 centimeters. What is the area of a rectangle? Again, the formula. The formula is very important, grade 5. So length times width. Okay, again, you will do 7, which is the length, and the small part will be 2, which is 14. So that is going to be, the answer is going to be 14. Oh, sorry, I have to choose that up here. Here I go. Let's go to this one. 4.5 kgs to grams. Again, remember grade 5. What are we doing? We're going from kilograms to grams. Whenever you go from kilograms to grams, what are we doing? We're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So let's do that, okay? So let me also show it to you right here on the PDF. Okay, let me just show it to you on the PDF. If we're going from kilogram to grams, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. You see those jumps up there? This is the PDF. Of course, if you want it, you can always message me and I'll give it to you. So what is this? 10 times 10 times 10. What is that? 10 times 10 times 10 is how much? That's equals to 1000. So whenever you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. How much do you multiply by? You have to know how many times you had to jump. How will you know this? By memorization. Okay, that is the best way you can do this, by memorization. So 4.4.5 times 1000 is equals to 1, 2, 3. So 0, 0. 4500. 4500. Let's go to the next one. Now 220 mm. Now look, this one is a new question for you. Why is that new? Because we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. What do I mean by that? Let's go to the PDF back and let's see what am I talking about. So millimeter. Now grams can be different. This can be changed into meters. So all of these will just become meters. Okay, keep in mind, don't get confused by these small things. So these are just meters. So now let's see mm. So it's going to be this one. Millimeters, 2 meters. What am I going to do? I'm going backwards. I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. What will I do? Division. So 1, 2, 3. What is that? 3 times I jumped, right? So I'm going to do divided by 1000. Just keep this in mind. When you jump 3 times, you'll divide by 1000. You put the 1, just put the 1 beside it, and the number of times you jump, add the zeros. 1 jump, 2nd jump, 3rd jump. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for you to do the quiz tomorrow. I hope it becomes easy. So 220 millimeters mm divided by 1000. What is that? The decimal point is always outside a whole number, grade 5. Of course, I always remind this to my students, but I'm trying to do this for you as well, so it becomes easy to do the quiz tomorrow. Because I know teachers sometimes in school, they forget or they're focusing on the other part just by explaining the question to you, so it's very important for you to understand this. 1, 2, 3. So 0.22. 0.22 is the answer. Remember, we divided. Why did we divide here? Because we went from a smaller unit to a larger unit. Let's go to the next one. Now, again, smaller unit to a larger unit. If you said division, you're right. So let's go. So here, let's do the jumps again. Here, what is that? Grams. Remember, forget about the grams. It's going to be meters here. So now, where are we going to go? Kilometers. So we're going to go to a smaller unit to a larger unit. We will divide. So 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 jumps. So 1000 divided by 1000. So what are we going to do here? 2, 3, 0, 0. Divided. 1, 2, 3. Why did I take the decimal point inside? Because I divided by 1000. So it became 2.3. You'll write 2.3. Let's go to the next one. 41 grams to milligrams. Okay, 41 grams to milligrams. Let's go back to the PDF, sorry. Grams to milligrams. So it's going to be here, grams to milligrams to here. So 1 second, let me just reconfirm that. Yeah, grams to milligrams. Grams to milligrams. So how many jumps are we going to do? 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 jumps. Where is it going? Towards from a larger unit to a smaller unit. If you said multiplication, excellent, good job. So how many times? 3 times. So times 1000. So 41 times 1000. What is that going to be? 41, my bad. 41000. Let's go to the next one. What is the area of a square side length? 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters is what? Side length, right? So what was our formula here? S squared. How can I also area of the square is that the indicator is here. So you have, because remember, for the square, the sides are all the same. How do I know they're squaring them? I'll just look at the unit here. So, and what is that? Centimeter. So 10 centimeter times 10 centimeter gives me how much? Equals to 100 centimeters squared. 100 centimeters squared. Now, volume of a cube. Again, we studied the area of a square, now volume of a cube. Now, volume of a cube is what? Volume of a cube is equals to, so for example, length, side length, right? So S cubed. So what is S? Because they told us the side length is 9. So 9 cubed. 9 times 9 is what? 81. 81 times 9 is what? 729. So what is going to be our answer? Here 9 times 9 times 9 is 729. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Okay, a gift box is in the shape of a right rectangular prism, which has 10 centimeters long, 8 centimeters wide, 5 centimeters. So what is the volume? Volume of a rectangle, again, what did we study? Length times width times height. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply them. 10 times 8 times 5, right? Because what is the formula? Length times width times height for a rectangular, for the volume of a rectangular. So length times width times height, 10 times 8 times 5 gives us what? For example, 10 times 8 gives us 80, times 5 gives us 400. Excellent. Okay, now here what are we going to do? Here some of the students do have a problem with this question, but it's easy. Remember, what is a volume of a box? A volume of the box is the space inside. Understand the logic behind the concept. It's a space inside the box. Now, if I also know the volume of the book and I know the volume of the box is just the book itself, right? Because how much space it's going to cover. So it's the shape and the space it's going to cover, right? The box itself. The book itself. Now, if I say the volume, right, I'm talking about the book, the size of the book, the shape of the book. How many of these can I fit inside? So what will I do? I'll calculate the volume of both of them. Okay, so volume of box is going to be 40 times 50 times 15 times 10. Okay, that is the volume of the box. 40 times 15 times 10. That gives us 6,000. 6000. The next thing, I need the volume of the book. So volume of the book. Because remember, I'm going to find out how much that book is going to occupy the space inside the box. So volume of the book. What is that? That is 10 times 6 times 2. That gives me how much? 120. Now I am going to divide the 6,000 by 120. I'm going to divide the 6,000 divided by 120. Why? Because it's going to tell me how much of the 6,000, the number of 120 can fit inside that 6,000. Because what is 120? 120 is basically the book. How much of and what is 6,000? 6,000 is the box, the amount of space the box has. So I'll put the 120 book inside the space of the box. When I divide it, how much did I get? 50. I'm sorry if I'm speaking too quickly. Just tell me in the comment section below. I'm trying to cover as much as I can with little time. Okay. Which of the following is not a net prism? This one. Okay. Now, how many edges does it have? 9. I hope the edges and the faces are clear to you. Let's go to the next one. Here, which of the following is a rectangular prism? Now, for example, it's just as if you have opened the box and you're trying to put it back together. Another hint I can give you here is the number of sides are supposed to be equal. So here 1, 2, so there are 2 sides here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's supposed to be 6 sides, okay? So for example, the best thing that you can do, it's this one. Because you see that when you close this box up, you get the exact shape as this one. If you have any confusions, please tell me. I will make a video for that as well. Okay, now for this one, which is it going to be? Here in this one. Because remember, you have the 2 circular ones at the top. And then when you fold the middle part, it's going to make the cylinder of the middle part. Do you understand? So up and above, there are the 2 circles. In the middle, you're going to fold them. That's going to become a cylinder-like shape. Okay, which of the following corresponds to the net above? Remember, what shape is this? Rectangular prism, right? The rectangular prism is shaped like this. If you close it and you imagine it, that's like a rectangular prism. Let's go to the next one. Here, which of the following is true about the figure above? So what are we doing here? Sorry, 1 second. 1 second, which of the following? Let me just give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm just getting a call. I'm trying to mute that. Whenever we talk about which of the following is true about this figure, we're looking at what? For example, you need to know first in the head, what kind of shape is this? And then what do? When we know the shape, we can find out how many edges does it have, how many vertices does it have, how many vertices does it have? 8. How do I know about the vertices? Because they are the corners of the shape. The corners of the shape, right? So 8 vertices. It has 12 edges, and then you have, it is a prism, and there you go. Okay? And some faces are triangles and other are rectangles. I don't think that could be the answer because some students get confused with this, but that's not the answer. The answer that you have, it has edges, it has 8 vertices, and it is a prism. Let's go to this one. What solid shape that has this net? What is this? If you said a triangular pyramid, you're right. The last one for this is how many vertices? How many corners does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. There you go, grade 6. I hope this helped. In 21 minutes, I try to cover as much as I can. Revise it, and good luck for your exam.